think we devolved the money almost 5 days ago. There's something wrong there, sabi ko sa inyo yan. I have not been remiss in my duty. Today I leave for New Delhi to attend the ASEAN-India Special Commemorative Summit on India's Republic Day celebration. Alam mo, the last time, there was this communique, a note verbal from, sabihin ko na lang, there's nothing wrong with it. The last Independence Day, we were also invited. But I think that President Aquino, busy maybe at that time, chose to just send a token delegation. In this year's invitation, they pointed out that they were more or less read between the lines. Sana this time the chief of state, and that the incident last year would not be repeated again. So, nung advice ng DFA is you have to go because every ASEAN meeting, almost all nandoon, we cannot afford to be absent. Now, the reason really why I'm going is that we're okay sa ASEAN, but it's all trade and commerce and everything else under the sun, except that you do not have the platform for terrorism and other problems of law and order. You have the vacant dyan sa Celebes, Sulusi, bakante tayo dyan Andy Mulukas. Naku, sabi ko, kaya ako pupunta, sabihin ko, kung ganito na lang naman, so what's the use of meeting just once a year? And probably the ministerial level once every 3 months. We cannot accomplish anything because yung waters natin, contiguous to the archipelago of the Philippines, is getting to be dangerous. And yet, it is only Indonesia who's active there. Sabihin ko sa inyo, kung hindi natin kaya, we just have to call China to come in and blow them up. Just like Somalia, that Aden Strait there, were it not for the presence of the Chinese, hindi mahinto yung piracy doon. It's the doubling up everything, fuel, you have to go around, then the freight charges, of course it goes with it, and the insurance. Yan ang mahirap dyan sa... So we have to come up with the platform how to deal with terrorism. Ako, I go for a hardline policy. Blow them up in the high seas. Sirain mo, kanyunin mo. Otherwise, if we do not do the extreme measures, we'd always be at the mercy of criminals. Ngayon, pag ayaw nila, edi tayo. And my orders to the armed forces would really be to destroy. Now, well, destroy means you have to destroy physically. And if you have to kill, you kill. That's the only way to destroy an enemy. It cannot be an empty words. Now, the second is maybe to complete the stories that were started during the last ASEAN conference. I'm glad that India is inviting us so that we can do something about the other allied problems of each other's governance. Pero ang mahirap nito is we keep on the coming meeting in Australia. It's all about security again. Pag-usapan na natin dito, let us talk what would be the platform that we will represent. Otherwise, ako pa naman nagsabi that I do not want to go to Australia. And si Prime Minister has always been asking me again and again if I can reconsider. But with an empty baggage there, wala man tayong masabi ng concrete except that we talk all over again about cooperation and sharing of we've been doing that. We've been sharing information with everybody as a matter of fact all these years. And yet the thing in Marawi came into being. So I need more than just talk and more than just promises. I want it done during my term. And my orders are especially an ideology that is so bankrupt, so corrupt, na wala namang nalaman kung hindi pumatay at magpatay at magsira. And we cannot live with that kind of burden. Ako kung ganun lang naman araw-araw, just give it to the order. Hindi ako pwede niyang half-cook, half-talk na ano. Just like drugs. Millions have been afflicted. Millions have been destroyed. Now you treat the problem with the kailangan talaga tapusin ko ito sa termino ko. Lalo na ang drug. That is my aim. I will destroy the drug industry in the Philippines. Not for us anymore because marami na ang may tama. But at least yung mga anak, mga apo ninyo shall have been freed of the scourge of drug. Huwag kayong magkumpiyansa yung human rights. They cannot defend you. And I do not care about yung human rights. Solve the problem first. Hindi ka nila we have almost 6 Filipinas dying, committing suicide, jumping out of the window. Mga hindi mo lang kayo pinansin yan. In other countries, they've been raping, and here we are, I'm dealing with criminals, and you're all noise. You can go to hell as a matter of fact. Karabing. That is why I directed the Department of Labor to stop processing. Now let me ask publicly, I hope I'm not Secretary of the Foreign Affairs here, I hope I'm not committing the diplomatic faux pas. But one more incident about being a woman, a Filipina worker being raped there, committing suicide. I'm going to stop. I'm going to ban. And I'm sorry, the Filipinos there, you can all go home. Total, pag nag-alis kayo lahat ng mga Pilipino dyan, they will also be having a hell of a time adjusting to that. Di papayag na a continuous incident of things like that. They have to endure rape, they have to endure starvation, and they get about only 4 hours of sleep. That's a universal story for all Filipinos. Can I ask you now just to treat my countrymen as human beings with dignity? I do not want to fight with you. We need your help to improve our country. As a matter of fact, the incomes there of the Filipinos contribute a lot to the GDP of the country. That is taken. Wala tayong nakakatulong kayo. Pero kung if it ends up with misery, rape, and everything, and my countrymen committing suicide, well, there's always a time. We are poor. We may need your help, but we will not do it at the expense of the dignity of the Filipino. Let me be blunt about this because Kuwait has always been an ally. to help you also, and in return, helping us in the very much needed revenues for their families here. I hope that you'd listen to me because I mean well. But I will never, never, never again tolerate one more incident of rape to the point of committing suicide, jumping out of the window. That is something the Filipino people cannot stomach. And if I cannot do something about it, then there is no reason for me to stay in this position a minute longer. I am going to dispense with, might as well just wait for the product after the meet. It's very important that I talk to the ASEAN regarding another platform, aside from the trade and commerce and everything, that has something to do with the security. It's getting to be a dangerous world. Why do I have to be patient? You know, you afford my people the dignity of their being. And maybe, if you are a criminal, I may reconsider human rights as part of my understanding of the problem of what's happening. Hindi ko kaya itong mga ganito na temporary lang to. Whether I sit as president for 1 year, it doesn't really matter to me. Sabi ko nga sa military, if I stay a minute longer, I am asking you to go into immunity and drag me out. Pagka isang minuto lang after the 6 years, barilin ninyo ako. Because then I would have violated the Constitution. Para klaro tayong lahat. I do not intend to stay a minute longer. But within my term, kung sabihin ninyo magdiktador-diktador ako, no, I am not. There are laws to be followed. But I will go for the harsh measures. Kasi itong mga kriminal, itong terorista, walang awa naman. When they decapitate you in public, they don't really bother about your family, ilan ang nawala, at pinakabastos ang ginawa mo. Now let me ask you a question, lang ko lahat ka. Kung gawain ko kayo sa inyo yan, would you be happy? It's just a matter of getting a sharp. And praktisado ako nung maliit pa ako because kung ang ulam namin manok, ako talaga ang magbo-volunteer ng ano kaya kung gawain ko sa inyo yan? You know, it takes two to tango. What you are capable of doing, I can do better 10 times over. So think about it. And there is nothing, absolutely nothing wrong when I say, do not destroy my country. Do not spoil the economic strides, however small and humble. We are climbing bit by bit. Tapos yung mga anak namin, huwag din yung, kaya yung mga nanay at tatay, you know, when a family loses a wife going abroad, this family is dysfunctional. Wala na yan. Mga anak niya, walang no mother to take off. Paski yung mga infant, iniiwan. When the father goes out, the family becomes dysfunctional. When the father and mother decides to work abroad, both of them, the family is floundering. Iniiwan lang doon sa mga lolo. At alam ninyo kay mga durugista kasi alam ninyo may regular remittances, yan ang dinidikit ninyo. Shabu is for the poor, it is not for the rich. Cocaine pati cannabis, yan sila. Yung mga mayaman ng pot. Bakit? patayin ni Duterte yung mahirap? Because doon ang selling, pati buying. And it is an organized crime. When it is an organized crime, yung pinaka-basurero, pati yung pinaka-drug lord, kasama kayo. So I am sorry. You say that you are poor, oh fine. But the law says when it is an organized crime, the act of one is the act of all, and the liability of one is the liability of all. Ay, itong drug lord na ito, itong kasali kayo. Sabi nyo, kasi pahirap kami. My oath of office says, I, Rodrigo Duterte, would only enforce the law against the rich and leave the poor to fuck this country because they are poor. Di ba yung pwede ganun? I have to enforce the law against all, against the generals, against the cabinet members, against everybody. And if you can prove a case against my son, I will leave him to. Bahala ka. We make our own story in this world. At the end of the day, you answer for your deed or misdeeds. Period. Cannot be worrying around, anak kita, dito kaibigan kita. Ito si Atong, I was hearing, pinawag niya. Tinawag ko yan siya. Sinabi ko, Atong, ikaw ang number 1 na gambler dito sa Davao. Hawak mo lahat, huwag tayong magbulan. Pumunta ka doon sa PCSO, hintuin mo yung lahat ng illegal at tulungan mo ang gobyerno. That was the only reason why I called for Atong Ang. Tell him, many years ago, I do not want to mention the president, he wanted to set up a high alay in Davao. Sabi ko sa kanya, kaibigan tayo, huwag mong pilitin yan, mag-aaway lang tayo. Ayaw ko makipag-ano sa iyo, pero kung pilitin yan na high alay sa Davao, talagang balita ka man natigas ka, di ikaw. So kaya sabi ni Frank Drilon na magtanong siya kung sinong, Senator Drilon, if I talk to somebody urging a case against you sa PDAP, bring that person in my presence and I will resign because you are my friend. Hindi nga ako sinabi ko, it is not in my system. It is not in my style na maghabol ng niwala akong pakialam sa kaso ninyo sa mama sa Panong. Magdala ka ng tao dito kung sinong inutusan ko yung sa pidap-pidap. Sabi pa naman ni na polis, marami pero siyang sasabihin, nauna na nga yung mga kalaban ninyo. Ba't ikaw kasi kaibigan kita noon pa? So nare-respeto ko yan. I told you before in front of so many congressmen, wala akong ginagawa against you. But do not force the issue na may just kung may makita kayo na mali, go and shout every day for all I care. Total, itong gobyerno na ito, hindi man ito akin. Whether it will rot or it will ripen, I can only be there to sympathize with the Filipino people. Hindi ko ito personal. I do not lose sleep kung mag-corruption lahat. Ang akin lang is the future of the next generation. Kita mo na nga, nagpapakamatay na, nagpaparape na doon, tinitiis na lang ang indignity. Tapos yung mga anak dito, papakainin nyo ng droga. Kaya ako nasasaktan. Sabi niyo drama, problema ninyo yan. If it is a pretended sentiment, fine. But I would still hold you to account for what you do to your fellow men. Hindi ako pang ordinaryong, there's even no need for you to address me as president. Rodi mo na lang ako. I'm not so enamored with this perks of position. remember that I won as president because of the people. Period yan. So, yung utang na loob ko sa taong ordinaryo, yung mahirap. Kasi yung mahirap, yun ang nangangailangan ng gobyerno. Itong mga mayaman dito, itong hangar dito, puro private jets yan. Ang may-ari niyan, mga mayaman, every company of whatever, may mga jet yan. Kaya hindi ma-improve yung put. Kaya hindi maka-extend ng runway. Paano puro mayaman? Kayong mga mayaman, you better be prepared. Sabihin ng mga manager dito, even a clerk of the airport would say that it's about time that we use that goddamn space there. Bubuldusin ko kayong lahat. Wala nang pakialam. Hindi rin kayo nagpahiram ng jet ninyo. Yung aeroplanong ginamit ko sa kampanya, naghinto pa sa runway, pumutok pa. So what do I care? I paid for my expenses. Yan ang totoo dyan. Basta lahat magbayad ngayon. Lahat. Hindi nagbayad ng ilang taon because you were using the influence on your money. Forget it. Huwag kayong magduda yung we do not intervene. That is why I want Congress to proceed. Imbestiga kayo. As a matter of fact, ako yung mismo nag-i-insist para malaman ninyo yung totoo. With this endless suspicion. It's about time that magharapan tayo. Kaya ko binibara lahat. Wala kayong makalkal sa akin. Billions? Sus Maria Josep. To my billions, I'm going because I'm late. Salamat.